So we are recording now. So again, we want to break our programs into methods, functions, modules, whatever you want to call it. Again, the only difference are usually functions return something to where it's called from. So we're going to break stuff down at least into inputs, processes, and outputs at a minimum, okay? Today, you're going to see we're going to break it down into even more parts. Just, again, as practice, would I normally break this program down into all these parts? I don't know. I could. You'll see how easy it becomes. And again, the idea here, not only do we break it down, some of the reasons we do that is for debugging, reusability, just that whole scenario there, and just good design. It's easier to program if I'm doing it in parts. I can program up to a certain point, stop for the day, come back the next day, and work on the next part. Okay. So the next method, and if I've programmed the methods before, I can cut and paste them into my program, for example. So it's just a good practice to get used to. All right. So without further ado, this program is part of lesson 9. So you're going to want to save it, and it is one of the ones that are due next Monday, or no, is it Monday? Next Tuesday. So I am going to go ahead and start my NetBeans while I start sharing with you guys and ladies, and we'll just share the whole screen, I think. Oh, before we get to, let's see here. All right, so this is the assignment page. This I have wrong here. Let me edit this right here. So this is the sum of digits. It's exactly how it says it in the run more than once. Allows the input a digit, an integer, up to, let's make it 6 digits. Oops. 6 digits. And then I'll even give you the highest number it should be. And the answer, if they were to put that in, you'd have 9 times 6. So the sum of those would be 54, right? 9 times 6 should be 54, if my math is right. So they type in a number, a positive integer, it adds up the digits. So if, let's say they typed in 1, 2, 3, the answer would be 6, okay? You've already done this temperature thing before. This time, though, I'm adding Kelvin to it, which is absolute 0. So they'll have one of 4 choices out of their menu. And then it should display that. Again, watch your spelling. Celsius is spelled with 2 S's, not 2 C's. And Fahrenheit is spelled with 2 H's, not 1. So you need to be careful there. And this is the one we're going to do today. Hang on, let me submit that. So we're going to get, so I'm going to take this and copy it. So I just Control C it, and then I'm going to bring it over to NetBeans. All right, so here we have a new one. It's a new project. And of course, here we are in Ant again. And we'll call this, I don't know if I got one of these. Reimbursement. Oh, I already got one of those. So let's see, travel payback. That's good. travel payback. So this program is going to reimburse somebody for what they spent on a trip, okay, for a company. So we'll call it Project the Acme Business Reimbursement. This is called Travel Payback. Today is, we're moving along into the month coming up, March. You. Set the following rates. So something to this effect. Looks good. Nice indentation. I actually do this on all programs that I write, believe it or not, even when you guys aren't with me. I always do this the same way. It's just a creature of habit. I like the way it looks. I like how neat it becomes. Again, void main is a special type of method. There's always one in your programs. And of course, it is public. And so then we know there's going to be user input in all of our programs because we need a menu. So I'm going to go ahead and import my scanner. Sit here a minute while it pretends to load. And then I'm going to need the scanner in several places. So I'm going to put it outside of the main. So I'm going to say private. It's a scanner called UserCon. Scanner. System end. That. Once I have that, I'm going to go down here and put my chart again in. It's going to be a Q. That's not unusual. So we get that. And then we can do our do wop, do wop, do wop, do wop, do wop. Down here, slap in the while. n is not equal to a q. And so there's our loop. So we know now that our program is going to run more than one time, which is our new convention ever since we started being able to do repetition or loops or whatever you want to call them, iterations. All right, and then we're going to come inside and let's do our switch, put our switch in. We're going to stub it in. Okay, so we know that's going to work. We got our switch in. And so it's case and whatever you want to use in your menu. Again, if you don't like the R thing for run, you can make it what you want. I personally think R works well, but again, it's not just about me. Okay, it is. But again, you might think, well, Doug, this takes a lot of time, da, da, da. You know what? It's systematic. If you get in the idea in this rhythm, whatever you want to call it, that you do this every time you do a program. And again, I'm making you do these over and over and over again. But just think, this could be a template. Hello? You have your mic open. So you could have a template of this and just boom, cut it and paste it in, change the name at the top, and just start your programs from here from now on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might have to alter it depending on what you're doing, but it's a good start here. Like I said, these don't have to be R, T, and Q. They can be whatever you, as the developer of your program, would like it to be. It's kind of like making, it's like making an outline. Like when you're writing a paper that, and your teacher tells you, hey, I want to see an outline before you get started. It's kind of, oh, come on, Doug. What's going on here? I work in a limited amount of space here, so I don't have a lot of mouse space to. I use a laptop desk when you're with me. It's this goofy little thing somebody gave me, but I like sitting on the couch and doing this with you guys. So versus sitting at a desk or something like that. But it does limit my mouse space. So system. /n. Whoops, forgot my /n on the end. Like 2 there. I can take out a couple of these here, I think. And a couple of here. So that'll show up. Need a break. Oh, my mail must have just got here. This one will be So you should have something like this. Looks pretty good. Let's whack out some of this here, space here. And some space down here. Should be able to run it, and it should give us our thank you, because we don't have any way to increment it yet. So that's what we'll get when we run it. All right, so that's good. So now let's see here. We got that. And we're gonna pop in our R here and get rid or put a line feed in, tab over, oops, tab over. We're gonna change again. This is our incrementation, the fourth part of our loop. Remember, our loops have initialize, they have a test section, they have a process section, and the important one of the more important ones is increment, right? So let's see, what do we want? Let's do show menu again. And that works for me. And then we'll drop out of the main. We want to make sure we're outside the main. You can see that I'm outside the main now. My divider. And my main is going to be of the type char. My menu is going to be of the type char. Show menu. There were no arguments. Too worried about that. That's the divider anyway. I never put my arguments and stuff up here in the divider. The divider is just for reading. If I'm reading a long program, I know where one method ends and the next one starts. So again, this is for programmer friendliness. Private static of the type char. And then we'll start. Just print, I'm sorry. Done. Finally. Oh my goodness. I'm typing all over the place. All right, finally. So it's a /n, and then let's run it out maybe that long. And of course, it's a /n again. Hit enter to continue on the next line. And then it's 1, 2, and then 1, 2. /n, hit enter. All right, and then we've got the bottom of our banner. So we'll put that in. Got that, and enter. And I'm going to /t it, and then it'll be parentheses R run program /n /t, and then test program /n, and then quit program. Okay, that works. And we'll go with choice is usercon next dot to upper case and char at 0. Makes it very user friendly. They don't have to type out a whole bunch of stuff. One character. Yeah, and then we need to return that choice. So once again, how this works is we're up here. The program reads from right to left, right? So the first thing it gets to this line, it reads that. And it says, oh, I need to go somewhere because there's parentheses, so it knows it's a method. It drops down to the method. It executes this. Then it comes back up to right where it left from. And then whatever is in there is assigned over to this side. Okay. So now let's see if it works. So we're going to print out whatever we type in by just putting again in here. Whoops, it can't be in. So all right. I think that's is that gonna work there? Yes. Oops. Screwed up. This has to be outside my switch. Oh gosh, Doug. Let's see, it goes up here. Sorry about that. Yeah, it goes before the switch. It can't be in the switch. Let's look at it now. There we go. There's our little menu. And if we type R, it prints the letter R. If I do T, it says test is here. If I type the letter J, it says only R, T, and Q are valid. And if I type a Q, it quits the program. So that looks much better now. All right. So now we are going to go, let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's look at what we need. Okay, so we need how many days they're gone, okay? So we're going to have a variable called days. Oops. And days is going to be of the type int 0. And so down here, we're going to have days is equal to, or is assigned set days. And it doesn't have any arguments. And again, this is, we're going to send it down somewhere else. It's going to come back here and then fill this variable with whatever it returns. So we'll do this, hit enter. And this one will be of the type int. And it'll be set days. Later on in your Java learning, you're going to learn about setters and getters. When you're able to build your own classes. This is an int, set days. And so then we're going to have system Need a prompt. And so I'm going to enter the number of days traveled. Much better. And we get our while loop here. While not usercon next. Oh, wait, nope. As dot as next, and it's an integer. Part of the day. Here, system out print line. Entry for the number of days. Oops, we don't need that. We're going to come up here, Control C that, pop it in down here, Control V, change enter to re-enter. Next, clear that out. Drop down below. Have you could do a couple of things here. Let's see, number of days. You could just a shortcut here. You could have, but we won't. We're going to say int amount is equal to next int, and then we'll return amount. We're going to run up to the top. And in here, we'll say we want to print out the number of days. So we run the program, ask how many days we want. Let's type in the letter S. It says that's not valid. Let's go ahead and type 10. It prints out the 10, goes back to our menu. That's what we want. Hit Q to quit, and it looks like it's running well. So now we've got our number of days. So now that part's fixed. So the first one we need here is meals, okay? So we're going to come down here, and meals will be a double because it's money. So this. Drop down here. Oops. Oh, man. Said I need a bigger laptop thing. And this will say meals. Set meals. And this time I do have to send the number of days because everything's based on that. So I will send down the number of days. I'll pop in here. This is a double. Set meals. private, static, and double, set meals, and it's a int that I'm sending down, and I'll just make it day, something like that. Oh, we can make it days, it doesn't matter. It's not the same. As long as you realize that's not the same variable as the one up on the top. All right, so now we do this. Let's see what we want to do. Let's go final, double, and what we're getting $40 a day. So we can call it per meal. Let's make it just meal per, and then it'll be 40. And then all we need, really, we can use the shortcut here, and we'll just say return days times meal per. So that instead of creating another variable here, I'm just doing the multiplication and sending it back up. So up here now I can print out days plus space plus meals. Let's see what we get. So we'll go with an R and say I traveled for 10 days and I get $400 in reimbursement for my meals. Looks like it's working. Hit Q to get out. Go up to the top here. Now I need parking. And we're gonna make this easy and just assume they get that money for reimbursement, even if they don't use it. Okay. So we're gonna come here. Double again because it's money, parking equals 0.0. Down here into our run. Is equal to set parking. We also have to send down the number of days. And down here, and we'll just copy this. So I'm going to Control C it. Go down below this one. Control V, pop it in there, and then I'm going to make this parking. Leave this alone, change this to parking. Change this into park. Change this into park. Change this to 20, right? So there I have parking. So now I'm going to run back up and I'm going to add on another space. Just again, this is only for testing. We're going to have a display area later on that looks real nice. So we'll put a plus there, and this is parking here, and we should be able to run. And we hit the R, put in 10 days, and you can see I get $400 for meals, $200 for parking, and that's correct. And we can quit our program. Next one is taxis. So we're going to come right down here, double for taxis, 0, 0. Sure, it was 30 bucks. Yep. Then we'll come down here. Taxis. Set taxis. Days. And down below. Paste it in. Change this to taxis. Change this to taxis. Change this to taxi. It's 30. And change this to taxi. Run back up to the top and add taxi on here just again. Always checking that our program continues to run the way we want it to. Run the program. R10. And there you go. We got 400, 200, 300. That sounds good to me. Hit enter. Okay, and then we had taxi lodging. That's a big one. $100.0 here. Lodging, set lodging. This will make a lodge. This will make a lodge. This becomes 100. Okay. And then we're going to run up here. Just pop it in. Again. 400, 200, 300, and 1,000. That works. Oops. What? Oh, I put an R in. All right, next one's a little bit different. We got a private vehicle at 57 cents a mile. So we're going to say this. We're going to go here. And I need to think about this for a minute. Where do I want to put this? So if I put the number of miles someplace where I can get to them, I think it'll be okay here. Let's try it here. So this is going to be Yeah, I need a couple things here. Let's do let's go ahead and put vehicle here for vehicle cost. What happened? Why did I have 100 here? That's not right. 0 here. So this will be this here. And then, so that's the cost. Then I'm going to put an integer for miles, I think. Oh, I guess it could be, but what if somebody said I did 11.5 miles? Being a jerk. So let's go here with miles. It's equal to 0, 0. And then I'm going to declare let's go with this. Double. I'm going to put that there so I can get to it. And then we're going to come down here. And this will be vehicle is equal to set vehicle. We don't have to send down the number of days because our vehicle money doesn't depend on how many days they drive. So if I do that, come down here, this one's going to be a little bit different. Vehicle. In there. All right. System. Not music. Well, it says next double, isn't it? We made it. Whoops. Copy this. Control C it. Move it down here. Control V it. And then make this re-enter. Oh. Number of miles, so miles would be equal to, oh, it's outside. Okay, I'm gonna have to move that. Miles will be equal to user next double. We need to move our declaration, initialization of miles. So we're going to go back up to our top and see I have miles in here, but it can't see it down in that other method. So we need to move this whole line. No, I'll just move set that there. Doesn't, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Control, let's go back. And let's just control X that out. And move it outside of main, outside the main, I guess. Let's see what happens. Control it here. So I moved it outside of the main. So now it should be good down here. Okay, so that gives me the number of miles. And then, so then, let's see what I got up here too. I think I got to get rid of this. This needs to move to also. So move that up there also. Put that up there. So then I'm going to come down here and say this. That return will be miles times short-term memory, miles per. What? Well, it's mile per. There's that. And I'll give you a second here. Check on something, and I'll be right back. Okay, hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is that? Sounds like my mic. Something's wrong. Hang on. How about now?
We can hear you.
Why am I not getting any sound through my headphones though? Hang on. Something's not kosher here. Try it again. Say something, will you?
Hear you.
All right. Now I can get you through. I wasn't getting them through my head. You guys through my headphones. So, okay. So now let's run it. Oops, I forgot to do the. I'm going to stop it over here. I forgot to put our little printout up here. So. Let my dogs out, let them in, and then it's vehicle here. Okay, so now we can go. And we run our R, and we'll do 10 days of travel. And they'll ask me how much, how many miles, and I'm going to type in the letter A, and it says, nope, you can't do that. And then I'm going to put in 100 miles. And you can see I get the right numbers. Now, this is because your computer calculates in binary, so it doesn't come out evenly to $57 is what it should be. But we'll format it when we go to do our output so that it will read the right amount and you won't get all these zeros on the end. Okay. But that's the way computers work. All right. So we have all of our calculations now. All right. And they're printing out right. So I'm going to go ahead for now anyway and just run that out. I no longer need this because it was for testing, right? And now I have a void that I'm going to create, and it's just going to be display results. And I'm going to send down the number of days, the meals, the parking, the taxis, the lodging, and the vehicle. Okay. And so days, meals, all right. So we're going to be down here. And it's a void display results. And then private static void display results. And it's going to be an int days double for meals, double for, what was it, parking or taxi first? I think it was parking. Park, double for taxi, double for lodging, lodge, and double for vehicle, or just miles, doesn't matter. All right. So we're going to have something that looks like this. We're going to say system dot out dot print f, and something like a slash n. And, oops. Okay, so slash t, days traveled, percent d, slash n, and then slash t, and we got meals, and it'll be $sign, %sign, 0.2f slash n. And I'm going to copy that so I don't have to type it every time. Control C that. And then slash T. It'll be slash T. Parking. Control V. Enter. Slash T. Taxis. Control V. Slash T. Lodging. Control V. Slash T. Vehicle. Control V. Get rid of the N and put and then we're going to say 4%, 0.2f miles at percent, or $sign, I'm sorry, $sign, percent, 0.2f per mile. And then we'll put a slash n, slash n. Okay, so, and then we need to put them in. We need to fill in our placeholders. So the first placeholder is days. Next one is meals. Next one is park. The next one is taxi. The next one is lodge. The next one is miles. The next one is, oh, that's not good. Let's make this, how about driven? So this will be driven. And then oh, wait a minute. Something's wrong there. Double driven. I don't think I need. That's for this one here, meal. Yeah, driven, that's right. And then it'll be miles. And what did I call that up there? Mile per. Okay. So your output or display results should look like that, I believe. And we'll test it. All right, so we got an R here. How many days? 10 days. How many miles? We'll say 100. And here you can see it says days travel 10, $400, 200 for parking, 300 for taxis, $1,000 for lodging, and $57 for 100 miles at 57 cents per mile. And why am I getting two indents there? I don't know what I did. Let's go down and look. Oh, I put a space in front of it. It goes back like that. Okay, and then so we got that. Let's run it one more time, make sure it looks pretty. Okay, we'll just go for 1 day. We're going for 1 day now, and we drove 10 miles. So 1 day, you get $40 for meal, $20 for parking, $30 for taxis. That's right, lodging's 100, and you get $5.70 for driving 10 miles. Looks pretty good. All right. Problem is we don't have a total. Okay. So we're going to go back here and write in, let's see, after vehicle, wouldn't it be? Yep. So right here, we're going to have something called, oh, we better declare it up here too. So it'll be double total. Simple as that. 0.0. And then here, we'll have total being equal to set total. And we send days, meals, parking, taxis, lodging, and vehicle down there. And again, this might seem silly because I could put it in the display results. I've already got the totals down there. Okay. And I'm going to have to adjust that once I get this part done. But this would be as simple as this. I go back up here. Copy one of these. Come back down. Probably put it above this. Pop it in there. And I'm going to say set totals. Or set total, is it? We'll see here in a minute. And it was not days, it's double, and it's meals, and it's double for park, and it's double for taxi, and it's double for lodge, and double for car. And this one's going to be kind of cool. We're going to take all of this out of here. And just come here and say return meal plus park plus taxi plus lodge plus car. So once that adds, oh, this must be totals. No, total. It's not used. Why is it not used? Set total. Something wrong. Days. Oh, I forgot. No. Meals, parking, taxi, lodging, vehicle. Meal, parking, taxi, lodging, car. What's wrong here? Total. Okay, I got something silly going on here. Anybody see it? Meals, parking, taxi, lodging, vehicle. Looks like a good call. And so it should come down here. Return meal plus park plus taxi, lodge plus car. Very strange. So this is a double, this is a double, 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 double. What do I got down below? Oh, no, that's not it. Double, 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 double. So it's double meal, double park, double taxi, double lodge, double car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 showing up. Right? Static double. Oh, I put days in there. Much better. Okay, so then display results, and we'll send down total with it. And that's going to yell until we come down here and add total here. Oops. All right. And then, so we got this, 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 this. And then that runs like that. And then we can do this. this will add on total. So those are the fixes. I'll go over them one right here for this one. You need to add on total here. You need to, right here, move that down a line, put a, like a, where you're gonna divide them. And then put total expenses in here with 2, and then fill in total down here. They have to be in order. In other words, days has to go in here, etc., meals, parking, etc., 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 to fill in all my placeholders. Up above that, this is where I added them all together to get my total. I sent down 5 arguments, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Added 5 together. And then when we go back up here, we send the 5 down to set total. And we added total to the end down here to display results. And up here we added total. And now if we run it, we can hit run, and I'll travel for 10 days, and I'll enter 100 miles. And you can see here, it looks really nice. Reimbursement amounts, they're all here for a total of 19, and that is the correct addition. Okay. And then we can quit. The only thing I don't like, I would put another one space here and another space here, so these line up right there. But so that would just be doing this. I know we're over time. Where's that at? Right here. So I'm going to add a space here and a space here, and those should line up now. For my test, okay, after the run, all I need to do here is this. For testing using a 10-day trip with 100 miles of vehicle use. So now what I can do here is this. So we're going to just copy this up here. Control C, bring it down here. Control V. And I'm going to go ahead and just make this 10. And I could make that a constant. And then the only other thing I need to do is my vehicle, okay? And so in both of these vehicles, I'm going to put, this one is going to be an R, okay? This one's going to be a T. All right? So this one's an R, this one's a T. There are errors right now. We'll go down to vehicle. And right here, we're going to put char choice. Okay. So now, if choice is equal to our R, then I want to do everything that's currently here. So I'm going to move all this in here. And then else, the miles is equal to, let's see, final double miles will equal amount. So that makes that 100. So now if I run it and type T, you can see here I traveled for 10 days and I drove 100 miles. If I choose R, I have to put in, I could put in 1 day and 1 or 10 miles. And you see I get my 10 miles there. So that's what I did. And so again, in your set vehicle, you add char choice here, put in an if statement, put all your previous code in that if statement. The else will be just miles will equal 100. Then up at the top here, all we do is put in set vehicle will be a T, set vehicle will be an R, and your program should run perfectly well. You zip it up. Oops, I got an error somewhere. Where's it at? I don't see it. What's the error? I do not see it, Doug, I said. Well, oh, there it went. It was just mixed up. So you run it and clean it, and it's fine. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.